Hey guys, and welcome back to another TRAILMAKERS video. This time with a voiceover, since I don't want to spend hours texting the whole thing. Due to the new update that has recently come out, I've decided to make a video about transforming this drift car of mine, which is modeled after the BMW M4 CSL, for those wondering. And we will be turning it into the track beast that is the BMW M4 GT3 race car from 2024. Now I'm not going to aim for any leaderboards with the car, just going to simply try to make it realistic and fun, while also being able to keep up with other people's builds. This video will mostly be a showcase of the process and the car itself, but some may learn what to do when building a race car of their own, since I will go over what I'm doing to improve the performance of the car. So, here we have the base car in all of its glory. Now firstly, I'm going to get rid of the normal wheel arches that are already in place in order to make room for the wide body-ish changes that we're going to make. Now the front wheel arches will be relatively simple, since all we're going to need is a handful of aerodynamic parts. This will consist of the rounded slope and the rounded slope end piece. Then to fill the gap in the middle there, we're just gonna grab a tail light. After copying it over to the other side, I'll adjust the pistons so the wheels will line up with our newly added arches. Adding a wedge will widen the lower front a bit more, giving it more of an aggressive look. Now I did try and widen the headlight as well to be more accurate, but it ended up looking like Sid from Ice Age more than a car, so I quickly went back to the old design. Here you see me adding fins to the front due to it looking good, but it actually hurt my performance because the front now catches air, causing us to keep turning, which is bad when there are walls around you. Here I finally get the good idea to change the tires from drift wheels to racing wheels, which we kind of need when we're building a race car. This will greatly increase our grip, therefore our performance. However, I now seem to have an issue with my car flipping over. This was luckily an easy fix, where we just had to widen our rear tires as well, so they were matching to the front. But I still haven't removed the fins at the front, which is what causes this little incident here. Now I'm just going to do some slight body modifications to the sides in order to get rid of the sports cars look and get more of a race car. I then started making the rear arches to fatten up the back. Now I'm going to add some wedges to the lower wheel arch. This will both greatly increase our aerodynamics while also giving more of a flow to the overall wheel arch design. Here you see me adding a vent to the rear wheels. This could also just have been done with a decal, but in my opinion it looks better this way. And again, I'm adding some wedges and mirrors to aid with the shaping of the rear. This is where I finally figure out that the fins might have actually been hurting me, and the difference is as clear as day. Now at this part of the build, I've felt like it was time to add more speed. This was done both through improvement of internal aerodynamics, while also giving it a major power boost in the form of engines. I wasn't quite happy with how the rear arches looked, because I feel like they need to be wider than the front ones. So I just added mirrors for half a block's extra width. Here you see me adding space thrusters, which when placed in the front will greatly help the car get around corners by pulling the front into the corner. By this point it was time to add a spoiler, and with the first iteration being just too over exaggerated and high, I was able to lower both the angle of the parts going down, but also just the entire spoiler in general. You might be wondering why I'm using flap wings here, since they give uplift and not downforce. But when the flaps are going upwards, so that if it was a plane it would be pitching up, they provide more downforce than a regular spoiler. Coming over to this corner after adding the spoiler, you can almost see my car struggling to turn, given how much downforce it has, which is why I am adding more downforce in the same manner with the flap wings in the front of the car. And a quick tip for those of you who are building F1 cars: the more downforce you have in the front, the more it will turn, but also be more unstable, while the more you have in the back, the more stable it will be, but it will also turn less. In first person we can see the white flaps there, and also the little bit of active aero action I put in there. Now all that's left is fine tuning, both hinge speed, angle, but also with the downforce, the angle of that, and then it's just time for paint.